So the ego wants you to believe there's only one way, and that's what you're going to encounter. So every single thing is intuition, everything is guidance, everything is sacred, because if we can get past the self-doubt and the ego, we can see that there's a message. Intuition is everything. This source is everything, everywhere, at all times. There is never a moment that you're disconnected from it. The thing is, if I say to you, is this cup related to your soul, God, energy, the universe? What would you just say? You would ignore it. You would think, no, it's just a cup. It's not sacred. That's the first misconception we have. We think that energy or spirit or soul or God or the void or the flow or the creator is something that is out of this world. It's unicorns and rainbows. It isn't just a tangible, mundane, what we call profane. So it's a state of consciousness to know that everything is intuition. Everything is sacred. So all of profane, pens, cups, phones are all sacred. The second thing is the biggest barrier, maybe the only barrier to intuition, to being in that flow, is self-doubt. So what the all that listening to your voice is, and all of the self-doubt that is just an ego construct, that's not normal. That's weird. So to me, nothing is weird. Seriously, if you saw the shit that happens all day here, you'd be like, oh, nothing to this woman is weird. So when people start off a phrase with, oh my God, you're never going to believe, first thing I'm going to say is, we're not saying those words. Maybe this is an uncommon experience that I'm having, Frances. Can you explain it? This is something that is not typical in my life, but we're going to start changing the language, because the ego wants you to believe there's only one way. So if I tell you Jesus is on my shoulder, which was one of my first early experiences, and I start with, oh my God, this is so weird, all of a sudden I've already introduced self-doubt. If I tell you this phone or this cup or this pen, talk to me, and it's talking to me, I'm seeing this pen giving me a message for you, this isn't sacred. So therefore, it can't give me guidance. So two first rules. Everything is sacred. Everything is guidance. Everything. We just don't know how to ask the questions. I'm going to teach you. And self-doubt is the killer of intuition. Something unexpected happened, something out of the ordinary. Maybe you have been familiar with this. This is something new to me. Can you teach me, or can I share with you, right? So that you're allowing the flow in. But the ego wants to say, this is weird, this is strange. People are going to think I'm crazy. So I'm going to give you a story that happened to me when I first started. And mind you, I grew up in a spiritual center, so nothing is weird. I saw exorcisms the day I was born, okay? But when I reconnected to my guidance and found my voice, my intuition, I went to a weekend conference. And I was with my ex-husband at the time, and I'm blow drying my hair, and Jesus is on my shoulder. And the thing that I'm getting at is, I want you to share everything. And when we do an activity, I'm going to say 2 seconds, don't think, because the minute your thoughts, even though intellect is the second, the initial instinct has to come as it is. You're not going to judge it, but your ego is going to want you to judge it. And I need you to tell me exactly as it is. So I'm blow drying my hair. Jesus is on my shoulder. He drives me to the workshop. And I said, look, and my ex-husband didn't believe in anything. I said, I just need you to listen, because the more I honor this, the stronger it's going to get. I said, but Jesus was on my shoulder this morning. And he tried to keep a straight face. I get out of the car, I walk into the room, and I'll never forget this woman. Her name was Denise. She's like, good morning, Frances. Do you know that Jesus is on your shoulder? And I was like, I do. Thank you for that confirmation. Having someone confirm, which is part of my job. Eventually, you don't need that. And you don't even need that now, but I share that story to say, oh, okay, I'm not crazy. Oh, okay, this isn't normal. And this is changing in the world. People are saying things. It's all over the internet, right? Everyone's an energy healer. So we're already moving in that direction. You don't have to only be with your tribe, with the vibe, all the nonsense. So everybody is sacred. Everybody's profane. Everybody has energy, and everybody is intuitive. It's a universal phenomenon. But those are separations. Oh, I'm a healer and you're not, right? That That's what has ruined us. The age of Aquarius is going to shatter that. We're all going to be healers in our own right. So self-doubt. So the ego wants you to believe there's only one way, and that's what you're going to encounter. So every single thing is intuition, everything is guidance, everything is sacred, because if we can get past the self-doubt and the ego, we can see that there's a message. Third thing, this is the hardest part. A lot of people don't like this. I'm just going to give you the rule. We can shelve it if you're ready, when you're ready. Your intuition is only as good as the quality of your thoughts. You have shit thoughts, your intuition is going to be like a little splash. The more inner work you do, the more you trust your voice, the more you're authentic, the more you make free will and choices, the more you get out of right and wrong dual thinking. Your thoughts are non-dual, everything fits, everything's allowed. It may not be what I like, but I have my thing, you think, I respect you, you respect me, live and let live. The quality of the thoughts improve, your intuition goes psh. So that's the eternal work. Number 4, the only thing that blocks your intuition, I'm elaborating on self-doubt, is shame. And shame comes disguised as emotion. I'm embarrassed. I'm happy. I'm lonely. The thought and the emotion are what they're together. The quality of the thought is linked to an emotion. We're addicted to that pattern. That's why I said we're going to shelve it, but I just want to say the law. You want more intuition, you work your thoughts, hence your emotional state, your ego, what you think something should be, there's shame around being a certain way. Intuition, you're in the flow. Number 5, just because you have intuition, just because you can connect, just because you're clairvoyant, just because you're clairsentient, just because you're clairaudient doesn't make you special, privileged, or anything. It just makes you human. This is a human right, and we all have the 5 clairs. We're going to talk about that in a minute. That's the majority of the rules. There's another rule I'm addressed because you said it. I couldn't understand what to ask, how to ask. When you got the tickle, you didn't know. The only thing to ask, just so you know, and I'll teach you how to ask because there is a way to ask that doesn't rob your free will. Intuition should never rob your free will. If it's robbing your free will and choice, it's not intuition. The question to ask is, are you guidance from the light or are you guidance from the dark? Because there is dark guidance. So I'm just going to draw you a little ladder. You're getting guidance from here. Let's just say this is A. You have A level thoughts. They're probably crappy thoughts. It could be crappy guidance. It doesn't have to be, but it's probably that. You raise your thought vibration, you release shame and emotion, you get better quality. It's just spiritual math. Intuition, thoughts, emotions, you do your inner work. That's the best way. People don't like to hear that. They like to just say, oh, I got intuition and I'm trusting my gut, but we're going to go deeper. If you're thinking something is coming in that's dark, 2 things. First of all, it's probably a low quality thought that you have, and that's why it's attracting. You do the work to release it, that thing doesn't have to bother you ever again. Anything that's high can go low, but anything that's low cannot go high. So we can control how much the flow, quality of our intuition, but everybody has intuition.